had an appointment yesterday to show a home to a buyer that I'm currently working with, and I wanted to share that experience with you if you are getting ready to sell a home. When I was at the home with my buyer, there were certain things that I noticed that I think that the seller did really, really well. I think that they get an A plus on this. But there were things that they did that I think that they can improve on to make their home show just a little bit better. It's important sometimes to take a step back and walk through the home as if you are a buyer, forgetting that you live in the home or that it's a home that you've inherited that you're getting ready to sell. And one of the first things that a buyer will notice is what it looks like when they walk up to the front of the house. And on this seller gets an A plus in my book. So this particular home was in a homeowners association where they take care of the front yard landscaping. So the front yard landscaping looked great. Everything was green and alive, and there were plenty of bushes. It really had great curb appeal. Aside from that, the homeowners association doesn't take care of the exterior of the house. And in this case, it looked like the seller had the exterior of the house pressure washed because there were no cobwebs or dust or anything on the house, and the windows were clean. If you're getting a house ready to sell, that curb appeal is really important. So if you can trim back any trees and bushes away from the house, pressure washing the house, washing windows, having the front entry clear of any cobwebs or any debris and sweep off that front patio, just gives it that fresh look. A lot of times on houses too, I'll notice that the front door, depending on where the house faces, the front door can look a little sun damaged. So you may want to get a fresh coat of paint on that front door as well. The next thing I noticed was immediately when we walked inside, the house smelled clean and fresh. We had a morning appointment and there were no lingering breakfast smells. Now I know that's not always possible to do depending on the time of the appointment, but if you can make the house smell clean and fresh, make the house smell clean and fresh. And this particular house, the first thing that my buyer saw, because it was close to the front entry, was the kitchen. And what I noticed right away is there were no dishes in the sink, no coffee mugs left on the countertops. And my buyer walked around the kitchen island and opened up a couple of the cabinet doors. And what I noticed there too was that everything was put away and was tidy inside of the cabinets. But where I think the seller could do a little bit better in this particular situation is there were quite a few things on the kitchen countertops. There was an area in the kitchen where they had about 5 or 6 cookbooks stacked in between bookends. There was a coffee maker. I think there was a coffee grinder also, so they can grind their own coffee. There was a large toaster oven, a blender, and there were several other things still left on the countertops. I think it's best if you stick to a 1 appliance rule in a kitchen. And this, again, it depends on the size of your kitchen and how your kitchen is laid out. But in kind of a standard size kitchen, if you could pick 1 appliance that you use daily, you could leave that out on the countertops and put all of the others away. I know it's super inconvenient while you're still living there, but hopefully this inconvenience is only for a short time. The goal here is that the buyer sees themselves in your kitchen, not you living in your kitchen. And in this situation, when we saw all of the appliances on the kitchen counters, we were wondering about the lifestyle of the person that was living in the home. We were wondering if the blender was used to make protein shakes in the morning or margaritas at night. And that toaster oven looked like it was well used because you could see all of the drippings and the crumbs underneath. So again, I think a good rule to go by, depending again on the size of your kitchen, is just to pick 1 appliance that you use every single day and put all of the rest away and take them out just as you need them. During the showing, we moved from the kitchen to the living room because the kitchen was open to the living room, and there were things there that the seller did that were really great. There were throw pillows and a nicely displayed throw blanket on the sofa. Everything was neat and in its place. The seller did a really good job staging their property. But what I did notice, and it wasn't just in the living room, it was actually throughout the entire home, is there were a lot of family photographs. Not only were they in frames on the wall, they were in frames displayed on side tables and nightstands. And as much as I love family photos, and let me tell you, these sellers look like they enjoy life because these were some fun photos. But that's the problem, is that those photographs drew us into that seller's life rather than the buyer being able to put themselves in the home. When you're getting a home ready to sell, it is so important it's what we call depersonalizing a home. You really want a buyer to see themselves living in the home, not the seller. It's a good idea to pack up those family family photographs. And what this does is it allows the buyer to envision themselves living in the home. From the living room, we were drawn to the backyard because there was a large sliding glass door that led us there. And that was one thing that I noticed too, is that the glass of the glass door was clean. Even the tracks of the sliding glass door were clean. It was a small backyard, but it was very well kept and tidy. The barbecue was off to the side and everything had its place in the backyard. It looked really nice. The seller did a good job. Now we came back inside to take a look at the upstairs, but before heading upstairs, there were a couple of other rooms that we took a look at too. There's a half bath downstairs that we poked our head into, and there were a ton of family photographs in that small space. If I were to count, there were probably between 7 to a dozen family photographs in a half bath that just didn't need to be there. And at the base of the stairs of this home was a really cute little sitting area that was a great space, or you could really do something fun there. But again, there were so many family photographs in this area. And there was one wall, you could tell that the sellers of this home really liked to visit a particular place. And there was an entire wall that was dedicated to that place. It was very personalized for the seller of that home, and it didn't allow my buyer to vision what she wanted for that cute little space at the base of the stairs. Walking upstairs, we noticed how clean everything was. The carpets were cleaned, the handrail to the stairs was clean, the in between the stair rails, everything, you know, those hard to clean spots, all of that was clean and dust free, and it had a nice, clean, fresh smell. The first bedroom that we went into was the primary bedroom, and in this bedroom, they have a very large walk-in closet that was so neatly organized. All of the clothes were hung. It looked like maybe they had cleared out some of the seasonal clothing. There was nothing on the floor of the closet. Everything just looked neat and tidy and clean in that primary bedroom. In each of the bedrooms, the beds were made. There was no overflowing laundry. Shoes were put away. Everything was neatly folded or hanging and put away in its proper places. And when it comes to bedrooms, I think size really matters. And as I say that out loud, I know that I'm going to get in trouble for that comment. So let me quickly explain what I mean by that. My buyer, and I think most buyers, like larger bedrooms. And there are things that you could do to make the bedroom look larger. And one of those things is to increase the amount of floor that a buyer can see. Whew. There. Okay, I think I got that out of the way. So how do you create more floor space in the bedroom? You just minimalize the amount of furniture that you need in a bedroom. So if you have a California king size bed, if you could get away with one nightstand, let's try to get away with one nightstand. And that was something that the seller did really well in the bedrooms. There was plenty of visible floor space in the bedroom. So the bed, they felt spacious. But again, in each of the bedrooms and down the hallways, there were so many family photographs. And while they looked like really fun people, and I truly loved to hang out with them, my buyer had a really hard time seeing past that and envisioning herself living in the house. And I want to leave you with this final thought. When you are getting a house ready to sell, I really want you to put on buyer eyes. We are asking somebody to spend probably the most amount of money they have ever spent in their lifetime and commit to making a payment to that purchase for years and years and years to come. And when you're getting a house ready to sell, even if it's a house that you've lived in, yes, it's a place where you have done life. But at this moment, when you're selling the house, it is a product that you are presenting to somebody who is willing and able to spend a lot of money for that product. And if you would like your product to exchange at the highest possible amount it can, it is so important to pay attention to the small details. Buyers open cabinet doors to notice how organized the cabinets are. They'll open up the pantry. They'll open up the refrigerator. They take a look at your closets. They go in the garage. They notice if the fence is leaning. They smell the smells. And yes, they see if there's dust collecting on the baseboards. Buyers will see the things. They notice details. So put on a set of buyer goggles and take a walk through the home that you are getting ready to sell. Or if you would like our guidance and help, you can always give us a call. All right, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.